I think I'm live. Let me refresh my browser and wait for YouTube to catch up. Let's see. There I am. Okay. So welcome everyone to the first YouTube live session in the new year. I hope you've all had a wonderful Christmas and a good start to the new year. And yeah, I'm happy that so many people are already joining us. And you might be a little surprised to see someone else doing this live. So this is my first my first card making YouTube live here on the Pink Fresh Studio channel. Some of you might have seen me before on the Pink Fresh channel doing scrapbook lives. And now I'm now I'm doing the card making lives. And yeah, this is my first one. So thank you everyone for joining us. I'm seeing some of the comments, they're going by really quickly. So yeah, happy to see everyone here. Yeah, my hair has gotten quite long since my last scrapbook YouTube live. So just a few housekeeping things, first of all. So behind the Pink Fresh Studio name in the chat is Kinnery. And she's going to be moderating. She's going to help me out with if you have any questions or if there's anything, any information that she wants to get out. So she will be in the chat. And I'll do my best to, keep an eye on the comments and to answer them if I can. And yeah, so, oh, it's so nice that some of you there are some of you from the scrapbooking lives as well here, and Isha from the design team. Hi, Isha. Okay, so a few housekeeping things, as I said. So you might know that if you've joined us before in YouTube lives, that we always have a little giveaway. Usually we are giving away a $15 gift card. But since this is the first YouTube live in 2025 and my first YouTube live for card making and a sneak peek at the new release, the January release, we are celebrating big. So we are giving away one time the entire January release, which is more than a $450 value. And we are also giving away 5 $100 gift cards to 5 different people. And the January release and 2 of the gift cards will be given away to the people joining us in the live chat. But since we also want to, have people who can't join in the live have a chance to win something, 3 of the $100 gift cards will be given away to people leaving comments, watching the replay. So what you have to do to be entered to win is just what you're doing right now. Just leave a comment in the chat. We would love it if you give it a thumbs up. We would love it if you share this video. And if you did, then just let us know in the comments, in the chat, that you shared it, that you liked the video. And that's another entry. So basically, it's really easy since you're already here. So yeah, good luck to everyone. And I'm just going to say the January release is so much fun. So whoever gets this or who gets the $100 gift card that can be spent, right away, maybe next Tuesday on a new release, that should be fun. This is like Oprah level giveaway. You're right. We wanted to, as I said, we wanted to do it big, like big. So, so anyway, I'm going to flip my camera in a second. Just trying to think if I forgot any other housekeeping tasks. I don't think so. If you have any questions, as I said, just, let us know in the chat. And sometimes the comments are going by really quickly. So if we missed it, if Kinnery didn't answer, or if I didn't answer, just ask again. It's not that we're ignoring you. It's not just sometimes really hard to, keep track of the comments. Where in Germany I'm from? I'm from more or less the center of Germany, and I live in a city called Erfurt. So more or less smack dab in the middle of Germany. And right now it's 7 p.m. So yeah, okay, let me flip my camera so that you can see what I'm working with. Okay. All right. Okay, so let's see. So here it is. It's not, as I said, this is just a sneak peek. So this is not the full release, obviously. Um, for today, I'm just going to give you a little sneak peek at just some of the products. And there's so much more in this release. So this is really just a small peek. So the product suite I'm using today as my sort of main element on my cards is called Butterflies in Bloom. And it's a 4-piece product suite with a 4x6 stamp set, a coordinating press plate, and a coordinating die set, and then also some layering stems with 4 layering stems to color in the image. And I'm going to give you a quick view of the back of the card where you will always find a little mock-up. I'm sorry for the glare, trying to, give you a good view. And this is, so if you are familiar with our layering stencils, you will know that sometimes we have stencils that give like where we have 4, 5, 6 stencils in one set where you can layer colors on top of each other. This stencil set is actually a little bit different in the way that each stencil is for a different part of the stamp. And I will show you that as soon as we get to this part. So this is my main element. And then this one is also in a January release. And this is a press plate called Dashing Daisies. And it's the size of an A2 card. And then this one has already been released. This is the blanket stitched octagon style, which I believe was part of the November Essentials release. So I just grabbed this one as sort of as it says, an essential die that could help me, give sort of a shape to my background or something like this. So this is what I'm working with. And let me just, for a second, check the comments. Okay. As I said, comments are going back quickly. I'm sure Kinnery will catch it, and if not, I just ask again, and I will try my best to answer. So let me grab my card base. So I'm working with a white card base, just regular A2 size, side folding. And then I also have a few pieces of white cardstock that I'm going to be using to work, first of all, with the press plate. So what I want to do, excuse me, is I'm going to use the press plate to actually hot foil. So if you're not familiar with press plates, what you can do with them is there are actually 3 different things you can do. Sorry, let me take a sip of water. Okay, sorry. So what you can do with press plates is you can, as the name suggests, use it with a better press system. So it's like that it gives you like a letterpress effect. What you can also do with it is hot foil with it. And you might have seen that we are slowly fading out our hot foil plates, and instead we are just doing the press plates for all of a lot of our product suites, because you can do both do the letterpress effect and a hot foil effect. Sorry. And you can also emboss with them, so dry emboss. And what I want to do is I want to hot foil because I want to have shiny gold outline. And maybe I should have sorry about that. Maybe I should have gotten my glimmer machine started. But I will just talk to you a little bit until it's ready. I just got my glimmer machine here. So for anyone who's on the fence of getting a better press system, maybe you're only doing hot foil so far and you thought that you couldn't, that the better press plates weren't for you. Actually, they are. So if you don't have a better press system right now, but you do have the glimmer system, then they are a great investment, because if you decide to get the better press system in the future, you can still use all of your plates. So that's a great thing. Okay. So far, I'm not seeing any questions that I can answer. There are some that Kinnery, that I would have to direct to Kinnery concerning the watercolor release and things like that. Are any of the new products in the February class? The February class, so the Create and Connect event, these will be all new products that are not part of the January release. So they are a completely different thing. So these will all be exclusive product that we may release later on in parts, if I'm not mistaken. If I did say something wrong, please correct me, Kinnery. But for now, the February Create and Connect will be exclusive. So I'm placing my press plate on the glimmer machine. As you can see, it says platform ready. And I've got some shiny gold foil here. Just, cutting it to size. And then, important, place it shiny side down, not up. Otherwise, you're just foiling your cutting plates or the glimmer plates. So let me put that to the side. Gail, I will definitely make a note of that, and I will show you the better press plates being used as actual press plates, definitely. But today I was just feeling, I was feeling gold, I was feeling shiny, sparkle, and so on. So, okay, I've got my die cutting machine here, and it says platform ready. It should be, good to go, because it's just an outline. It doesn't need as much time to heat up as, like, for example, the solid plate. Just move some things over. And then, oh, that's not the way to do it. That's the way. So put the plates on. Oh, I think everyone who has a glimmer has foiled their plates at some point. You can see mine are foiled as well. Not as badly. I think it only happened once for me. But I think there's not one person who didn't foil it at some point. Okay, so here you can see, let's have a look. I hope it worked out fine. Ta-da! I just love the look of this. And I will never ever get tired of, like, the reveal of pulling the foil off. Oh, hi, Raquel. So happy you're joining us. So Raquel is here. She's also on a design team, and actually a big inspiration for me for card making. Okay, so let me put that to the side, because I'm going to switch it off, because right now I don't need it anymore. And you can see here that we have a beautiful piece of foil left over. And if you're not familiar with it, we have a solid hot foil plate. And what you can do with this, and I might do it if I have some time at the end, you can actually now foil the reverse. So if I heat that up, put this on a piece of cardstock, then you will foil the rest, or put the rest of the foil on this piece of cardstock, and have like a solid gold image. And that way you just use all of the foil and don't waste any. of that precious, beautiful, shiny foil. Okay, so let me just put this to the side for now because I'm prone to burning myself on things like this. Okay. Are we planning more washi tape die combos? I think I can answer that one. Yes. I'm not sure like at what time, but I think I can say yes. I don't think that I will get into trouble for telling you. So you can see here, this is really shiny and beautiful. And just one thing I wanted to mention, because I'm seeing it in the comments, some questions about, when everything will be shipped. So because we are unfortunately having some issues with our December release that got stuck at customs. And we currently are still waiting for customs to release our shipment with the December release. But I can, give you some peace of mind. The January release will be going out on release day. We have it. It is ready to be shipped out. So when you order on release day, you will get your order. Don't worry about that. Unfortunately, the thing with our December release, it's nothing that we can, or there's nothing that we can do about it right now, unfortunately. We are sort of at the mercy of the customs office or customs people, or. So yeah. Okay. Now I'm going to color in my hot foiled image using the layering stencils. And if you're not familiar with the layering stencils, it gives you at the top left corner, it says stencil 1, 2, 3, 4. So you know which order to do the stencils in, but sometimes it doesn't really matter. And sometimes there is you can just try it out. But for this one, since every stencil is coloring a different part of the image, the order of in which you do it isn't really too important. And I don't know why, but I usually start with the leaves, even though they are often like stencil 3 or 4. So this is actually stencil 4. But for whatever reason, I like to start with the leaves. I'm trying to line up the stencil without putting all of my head in front of the camera, because looking at it from like right above is definitely easier. Thank you, Monica, for the reminder. We are definitely happy and appreciate you liking the video, giving it a thumbs up. Okay, so for my leaves, I grabbed fresh pear, mint, and evergreen. And if you're wondering why my ink pads look like this, it's just because I had them stored in like a little container, and the sun was just, always shining right on it, so it kind of faded out. So there's nothing wrong with the ink pads. They still work just fine. Yeah, it's just the way it is. So this release will be available from the same time no, sorry, not the same time, 9 a.m. 9 a.m. CT, Tuesday, January 14th. That's when this release will be available. And at the same time, there will be a video on our YouTube channel where I will show you the whole release. So there you can see every single item included in the release with some card examples. So I'm just going in with mint and with one of my 1/2-inch blending brushes. And I'm trying to just go a little bit heavier at the, it's not a tip. What's the opposite of a tip? Like the lower part of the leaf, the stem, more or less. just trying to put some color on and trying to fade it out as, you know, as it gets closer to the tip of the leaf. And I've got to tell you, so this is, if you are a little bit intimidated by layering stencils, this one is a great set because, as I said, it doesn't give you, sorry, I'm just going to zoom in a little bit so you can see this, the ink blending a little bit better. So this is a great set if you are a little bit intimidated by layering stencils or if you haven't tried it before, because since every part of the stencil colors in a different part of the image, and you don't have to be too worried about lining it up perfectly, like one layer with the next layer. So I think it's a great set to get started, actually. So just a little bit more. And I'm not sure if it really picks up on camera right now, if you can tell, but it does fade out a little bit. So next I'm going to come in with Evergreen and picking one of the 1/4-inch brushes because I want to make sure to really just put just a little bit of, you know, darker ink down. So let me see. So Sharon's saying I don't have any flat brushes. I wonder if they're better for stencils. So I'm not sure, like these are more or less the only ones I've worked with so far. So I can't really say anything about it. Although I think it depends more on like the size of the actual stencil. Sorry, the actual brush. How easy it is to do things. Because these are really tiny, if you can like tell. This is a 1/4 inch, and they are perfect for just, you know, adding a little bit of details, a little bit of shading, and you can be a little bit more precise, I would say. So we have the 1/4-inch brushes, we have 1/2 inch, which is what I've used before, and then we also have 1-inch brushes that are currently out of stock. I even haven't got my hands on them, so but I think they should be restocked soon. Okay, so let me take that stencil off, and I think that already looks really, really pretty. Oh, I forgot. I actually wanted to come in with a little bit of fresh pear, just to give it, because right now it's a bit more on the minty green side. I want to add a little bit of more of a fresh green. And I'm always kind of starting on my stencil and then going on to the like the actual image, just so I don't get any harsh lines where my brush, you know, touches the paper, if that makes sense. Okay. Well, now I'm done with this stencil. Just going to take a baby wipe it down real quick. Do the brushes come in those boxes? Yes. So all of the brushes come in those beautiful little boxes that you can just store them in. Just an FYI, for the 1/4-inch brushes, I think it's actually 6 brushes per set. Yeah, set of 6 blending brushes. But since they are so small, I can fit more than one set of brushes into one box. So just that you're, you know, aware that not that many brushes actually come in the box. I just put more of my sets into one, so I don't have to keep like 10 different boxes or so. Although I don't have 10, but you know what I mean. So the 1/2 inch brushes, there are also 6 in the set, and they are just perfect for storing them like this. And you could do like boxes or a set for, you know, your pinks, your greens, whatever. Okay, so next now I'm doing the stencils in order. So I'm grabbing stencil number 1 and just lining it up again, trying not to get my head in front of the camera. So it could be, I'm sorry, I have to get my head in a little bit to make sure that I get a nice image. Oh, thank you about the desktop. That is actually, you know, it's actually just a board that I painted that I put on my desk because the white really wasn't working because you couldn't really tell the difference between, sorry, between the card base and my desk. And the look of the brown desk wasn't, you know, wasn't too pretty. So I thought this was a good choice. So I'm glad you like it. Okay, so now I'm coming in with Coral Reef and I've picked the 1/2 inch brush. And now I'm just starting from the center and then just as I did before, kind of fading it out towards the edges. Picking up some ink. So this is an image that's, as I said, it's really beginner friendly. There's not much, actually nothing that could go wrong, really. Because worst thing you could do, or not worst, but you know, if you did go a little bit too heavy-handed on your ink blending and you're not happy with it, you could just go over the whole thing and make it a solid colored image, which also looks nice, which is actually what's suggested on the mockup. But if you want to have a little bit of gradation, I think it's called, then just, you know, go in a circular motion. And don't forget that as the ink dries, it becomes more even. So don't freak out about any areas that are looking a little bit uneven until everything has dried. I think so. Kathy says she noticed the event classes seem to cost more than they have. I'm not sure like what you're referring to. So the event classes include the whole kit with products and everything. So the pricing actually includes the products and 6 classes and make and takes. So it's a lot of projects and a lot of product. So, but maybe Kinneri can, you know, give you more info if I kind of misunderstood your question. Okay, hold up. Let me just fill in the edges a little bit. And you can see here, I wasn't too careful with my ink blending because for this image, I don't feel like it needs to be. So now I'm going in with the passion fruit, which is from the same like set of 4 color or 4, yeah, inks, but which is the second darkest, I think. And now I'm again coming in from the center, again in a circular motion, but I'm not going as far out towards the edges as I did before. And I'm also going to do the butterfly leaves in this color. Sorry, the butterfly leaves, butterfly wings. Sorry. Okay, I think I'm fine with that. Just a little bit more of the coral reef. And you saw I'm using the same brush because those 2 colors are quite close to each other. So I don't feel like I need to switch my brush. So this is part 1. Okay. The February event, all of our events are online. So you can join us from wherever you live. You can join us. We have participants from Australia, New Zealand, South America, everywhere. So I think that's, the great thing about those online events is that you can join in basically in pajamas, sitting at your desk, and you can always, so all of the classes, all of the videos will be recorded, so you can also watch it at a later date. If you, for example, live in a time zone where you can't join live, or you want to watch everything again later. Now, for the other part of the flower, I'm going to go with these peachy tones. So I'm starting with peach fuzz, which is the lightest one. And same thing again, sort of starting heavier at the bottom of the petals and then fading it out. Actually, you know what? I think I reserved peach fuzz for the third stencil, but that's no big deal because apricot is a little bit darker, so I can just go over it. And I'm already loving this set, and I've seen a little bit of inspiration with this set from our design team, like internally shared images. Nothing that's been revealed on our Instagram or anything, but you will get lots and lots of beautiful projects with the new release. And yeah, I'm from Germany. So you might be able to tell that I'm not a native speaker. So okay, again, the wings. And then I'm coming in with just grab a little bit of, sorry, a little bit of the persimmon, which is darker still, just for even more depth. I'm located in Germany. I still live in Germany. I've never been to the US, actually. Am I allowed to say that working for a US company? Anyway, so yeah, I live in Germany and okay, so let's take that stencil off. So this was stencil number 3, and I'm loving this. Like, I love how those colors look together. I love how soft the blending is. And then for our final layer, oh, thank you so much, crafty Cat's Corner. Um, yeah, I'm, trying my best. And I definitely have good days and I have bad days when it comes to speaking in English. Sometimes my brain is just not working. But I'm so a little bit, of info about me. Uh, I'm actually a little bit of a language nerd. I love learning languages. I love like the system behind languages and everything. So yeah. So now I'm just doing like the centers of the flowers with peach fuzz. And this time I'm not, because it's such a small area, I'm not going to do any like gradation or coming in with a little bit of a deeper color. But you also get these small flowers here. For those, I'm going to use lemon whip. And for these, I'm just doing a little bit of, I don't want to say splotchy ink blending, but I'm definitely just doing some of the flowers with a little bit of a heavier hand and the others a little bit lighter. And then you also have, which is probably hard to tell on camera, the two butterfly, like the bodies, which I'm going to just stencil in, a, ink blend with some warm buff. Because, you know, I think it would fit the rest of the color scheme and it gives it a little bit more of a natural look. Although you could, of course, just do it in like pink, yellow, one of the other colors. So, ready for the reveal? So this is, let me take off the tape so I can actually hold it up to the camera so you get a closer look at this gorgeous image. I absolutely love these flowers and these stencils. So yeah. So for now, let me check the comments again. So yeah, I think this one, these colors with the gold foiling just, I think it just works. So that's why I wanted to do foiling on this image instead of the letterpress effect, which I'm also a big fan of, don't get me wrong. But just for this image and with the colors I had in mind, I thought gold foiling would be like the cherry on top. All right, so what next? Now what we can do is grab our coordinating die set and grab the die, which is one piece. So you get 3 dies in the set. One die for the flowers and the 2 butterflies. So no need to line up, small dies just for the butterflies, which I love. And you get 2 dies for the 2 large sentiments in here. Celebrate all you have become, and you make my heart flutter, which I think is a really beautiful sentiment. And you also get 3 small ones, just a note, thanks, and hello. So let me grab my die cutting machine. English and Pig Latin. So I did. So I would love to know if there are any people here, speaking more than one language, which language, if there are also some language nerds like me. Okay, let me grab my platforms. So now what I'm gonna do, just to make sure that my die doesn't shift when I'm die cutting, because I don't have a magnetic plate right so far. We'll have to get me one. And this again is really easy to line up this die, which I love. So you can see here that you have a few different points on this die that are, if you get the butterflies lined up, then you're good to go actually. I'm not sure exactly which that was my ink pads, sorry. Things are falling everywhere. They do look a little bit like magnolias, but then again, I feel like part of it doesn't. So I don't know. But they are beautiful. So Kimberly says she speaks Spanish and English. So yeah, Spanish, trying German. Nice. So you can see this is how the images are cut out. And they just pop out of the die without any help. Yeah. I also studied Latin. I studied Latin, Italian, Spanish, Swedish, and English, obviously. But I forgot all of the Swedish that I've ever learned, which wasn't a lot, but still. So let me just grab my embellishment tool just to pop out these little chats. And then you get this beautiful image. I speak Google Translate. So yeah, the butterflies come out separate, but you still can use like stencil or sorry, ink blend them in one go with the flowers, which I love. I'm all about, I mean, I'm German. I'm all about efficiency, right? So yeah. Okay, so let's see what else. So I have my card base here. I have my flower. I definitely want to use this new press plate, the Dashing Daisies, that's also in the new January release. But I don't want to use it on the whole background, or like not on my card base. Let's put it like that. So what I'm going to do, I have this piece here left, and I think I'm just going to go ahead and use this to dry emboss it. So I'm basically letter pressing without actually using ink. Um, Let me grab my letter press. And I just want to make use of this piece of white cardstock that I have left. So there's actually, right now, there's not real rhyme or reason to the size of this piece. I just want to use the press plate on it, and then I will see where to go from there, if that makes sense. So I'm putting my press plate down, and then I'm taping down the white cardstock. And I think someone asked what tape I'm using. This is, let me think, what's it called? It's Scotch. It's, I think, Scotch low-tech tape, something like this. So it's definitely a low-tech one that I'm using. And so far it's been working great with my dies, because sometimes when you die cut and um, and you secure something down with washi tape, it sometimes rips the image when you pull it off. And with this tape, it's never happened. So I'm pretty happy with it. Can you use ink for dry embossing? So if I used ink right now, that would actually be letterpress, basically. So dry embossing. So hold on. I didn't really dry emboss it. Let me back up a little bit. So you can use this press plate with your regular die cutting machine and the corresponding sandwich for actual dry embossing that you could also do with a die. And for that, you would need, depending on your machine, so for this one, for example, I would look at how to emboss a cut shape, even though this is not really a cut shape, but still. I would use the embossing mat and the adapter plate. But since I don't have these on hand right now and I don't want to, rummage around while I'm on this live session, I decided to just do the letterpress or the better press without any ink. And I hope you can tell it's really hard to see on camera. I know that. I will definitely take some photographs of my finished part and post them, on Instagram and so on, so you can see the detail. I know that right now it's a bit hard to see, but I have a plan in mind. So there's a reason why I didn't do it with ink. Because what I was thinking is I want to have like a pop of color on this piece of, like, on this panel. But first of all, I'm going to use the blanket stitched octagons, and I'm just going to die cut a piece of this. Like use this, die cut it, and then come in with another ink and just color in the whole thing. You will see in a second what I'm talking about. Sometimes I feel like I'm not making much sense, so you will just have to wait and see. And you could, so what I usually do when I'm doing using the press plates for actual letterpress, I just use my Pinkfir Studio inks with it. They work perfectly fine. You don't, you can use the better pressed inks that are, sort of intended for that purpose, but you can also just use the ink pads that you've already got. And I mean, I can only speak for the Pinkfir Studio inks, but those work perfectly fine. Okay. Now, I have this small piece here. And I'm loving all of these essential dies, especially for like smaller panels that you can put on your card bases and so on. I think these are great. Now, let me grab my mat here. And as I said, I want like a dark color that really gives a nice contrast to these soft flowers, because I think it will make them pop even more. Sorry about that. Let me just see if I have, of course, I don't have any scrap paper right now. So I would just have to, do it like this. So I'm thinking, let's see. I'm thinking one of these. I grabbed the darkest colors of the 4 different color sets. Not too big on the green, especially since it reminds me of Christmas and I'm kind of over Christmas. Don't think the purple works too well. I actually really like the look of the Atlantis, so let's go with that one. And I mean, if I had any colored cardstock on hand that just has this color, I could have just used this. I wouldn't need to do any ink blending, but I need to stock up on some colored cardstock because so far I've been scrapbooking like 95% of the time. I rarely made cards, and for my scrapbooking, I never needed any colored cardstock. You know what? So yeah, I'm just, making my own. And I just grabbed a larger brush simply because, as I said, I don't have any of the 1-inch blending brushes from Pinkfresh yet. But this is faster. And I know it's probably really hard to tell on camera, but you can actually see the texture from the press plate. And I could have heat embossed this press plate again and then just done some ink blending over it for even more, texture. But I didn't want to do any heat embossing again, so this will have to do. Now, let me clean this up real quick. Okay, I will clean this up after the live, like really clean it up. Just did a little bit of a quick clean. Okay, so what I'm thinking is having this sort of in the middle and then the flowers, and I think the colors look great together. It doesn't need to be heat set. I mean, I would, especially with this darker ink and with the amount that I just put on, I would be careful, of touching it with my fingers and then touching some softer colored pieces. You can see I colored my fingernails. But you don't really have to heat set it. Okay. So what else? I'm thinking I don't want to have just the regular card base. I want to add a little bit of a fun detail. So I'm grabbing the largest one of the blanket stitched octagons. And what I'm going to do, I want to have a shaped card. But I don't want the hassle of partial die cutting. So the easiest way to do it, at least with a geometric image or a geometric shape like the octagon, I just marked it with a pencil on my card base, directly on my card base. And now I'm just going to take my scissors, making sure that I really press my card base together so it doesn't shift. And just snipping off the corners. You could definitely do partial die cutting if you wanted to keep this blanket stitched edge. But for me, it's just about the shape of the card right now. So, like this. And you're already done. So definitely much faster than partial die cutting. So now we have this, and I have this, and I have a little something that I think will look great with it. And we'll give you another sneak of a little of another product. So I would say don't tell my boss that I showed you another thing, but since she's watching, now she knows. So this is, I was playing around with some of the product from the January release, and we also have a new alphabet die set. And so this is all like capital letters. And hint, hint, there's another version. So yeah, close your eyes, exactly. So yeah, I think maybe those would look great on the card somewhere. Let's see. And I have to admit something. I already played around with this set, before. As you can see, I colored it the exact same way because I was just trying out this color combo. Because to be honest, I mean, it's my first card making live, so I just wanted to make sure that I know what I'm doing. Because when it comes to scrapbooking, like I often just, I used to wing it more or less. But with card making, I still need a little bit more of practice. So yeah. So what size are the letters? Let me grab my cutting mat real quick. So the L measures, I'd say about 1¼ inch tall. And then about, depending on the letter, about an inch, 3/4 of an inch wide. So it's a good size for, larger titles on cards. So as I said, I already have the second one. So what I'm thinking to make use of both of these, let's see. Just trying to figure out how I can get as many of these beautiful products on one card without it looking too, busy, too much. And I'm actually loving how these letters look on top of this um, Atlantis colored panel. So I think I'm going to do something like this. Yep. So I'm going to deal with the flowers in a second. First of all, I'm going to go ahead and put the letters together. Where did I put my... Oh, thank you everyone who's saying that, you know, you are enjoying the card making live with me and that you think you're going to learn a lot. I'm really happy about that because, you know I've got big shoes to fill with Heather and Leah being gone, especially, since a lot of you probably used to watch them quite often. So, and they've made beautiful projects. That's, there's no doubt about that. So, yeah. But I'm excited about, dipping or diving in actually into the card making world. So, I'm excited. And I had a little bit of a um withdrawal, like Pinkfresh Studio withdrawal, because there were no new scrapbooking collections. So now I get to play with Pinkfresh Studio goodies again, just in a different capacity, which is fun. So, and I apologize in advance if we may go over like a few minutes. I will try my best to get this finished as quickly as I can, but we are almost there. And, we've got some exciting giveaways at the end. So if I were you, I wouldn't leave. Okay, so if you know me, if you've seen my videos before, you will know that I love dimension. So normally I would probably put foam adhesive behind those letters. But since, first of all, that takes time, and second of all, I'm planning on putting even more foam adhesive behind this little panel, I'm going to skip that for now. Just know that you can always add as little or as much dimension as you like. Because I know that for mailing, sometimes it's better to have like a card that's a little bit flatter. But I often, like if I make a card, I often hand deliver it or put it in a package together with other things. So the dimension isn't much of an issue. Okay, now I have this. And as I said, I want to make use of the flowers. And you can see there's part of it covered that you can't even see. So what I'm gonna do is, don't freak out. I'm going to cut it up. Brace yourselves. Now, I will secure this down. Where did I put my... This thing's flying everywhere, right? Now I lost my tape runner. Sorry about that. Had to crawl underneath my desk. But I can't really go on without a tape runner because I'm always almost out of liquid adhesive for whatever reason. So I have to use this. Now, what I'm going to do is, so I can see how much flowers or, how big the pieces of the flowers have to be to peek out. I'm going to put some craft foam behind it, but as you can see, I'm leaving a gap between the edge and my craft foam That way I can still tuck things underneath. So you can see here, you can't really tell that I cut the flower up. And I'm sorry if I hurt anyone, if I shocked anyone with that. I'm definitely going to use the set again and again. So I'm not too worried about it. I will definitely use the set again and, have all of the flowers showing. But for now, I'm going to do it like this. So about the craft foam bending the paper when dry, I know what you're talking about, and I actually sometimes have that problem too. So what I will do usually is at the end, I will come in and put a little piece of foam adhesive, like a foam square, an actual foam adhesive, not the craft foam, on the edges, so it kind of stays flat. I'm not sure if you know what I'm talking about, if that makes sense. But yeah, that's what I tend to do to keep the craft foam from warping my paper. And if I missed any of the questions, if you had any questions and I didn't give you an answer, feel free to leave them in the comments, like after the video is done. And I will check back in the comments and answer you there if there's anything that I missed. And I'm almost done. So we are really close to the end. Bear with me. But I think, time-wise, I didn't plan too badly for this, my first card making live. So yeah, now I have those pieces left. I can tuck them in, and I will also put one of the butterflies because they are cute. So Bo said she can't wait for the alphabet. She's hoping that there's a lowercase too. As I said, there's another set of this alphabet die, so you can probably guess what that means. Okay, and a little butterfly on the O. That's why I left a little gap between the top and the letter, because I knew I wanted to put the butterfly there. And, I will definitely go back in and add a little bit of gems or glitter drops or something like this, but I'm not going to do it right now. I don't want to, um, go over the time too much, but I will definitely share photos of the finished card with you so you can appreciate all of the details and see, because I'm definitely going to pull up some of those pieces and add foam adhesive for more dimension because I love it. Sorry. Okay, I think, as I said, I'm just going to add maybe some clear drops or just a really soft colored jewel or something like this. But that's it. That is my finished card, a finished shaped card that was at least the card base super easy to make. I'm going to just lift up some of these pieces, add a little bit of foam adhesive, and yeah. So that was the butterflies in bloom, the dashing daisies, and the Jody uppercase alpha also did make an appearance. And it says uppercase alpha, so why would we need to specify that if there wasn't going to be a lowercase? Okay, let me turn my camera for a moment, just so I can actually say goodbye. Okay, here I am. Okay. So thank you everyone for joining us. I hope you enjoyed this first card making live in the new year, the first card making live with a new host. So yeah, let me see if Kinnary picked a winner already. The comments are flying by, so I'm guessing she did. Kelly Roth, you win the entire January release. Congratulations. It's a good one. Like they all are, but you know. And let's see if she also picked two winners for the $100 gift cards. Let's see. And after this, so as soon as the release goes live in our shop, which is in a week, I will add the products I used in the video description below. So you can check back then. And as I said, for anyone watching the replay of this video, don't be afraid or don't worry, you also get a chance to win. Just leave a comment below the video, not in the live chat. And there are 3 $100 gift cards that will be given away to anyone leaving comments. Or, you know, those people will be entered to win. So you have until January 13th, midnight, to leave a comment. And on January 14th, at the same time that the release video goes live on the YouTube channel, there will also be, the winners will also be added in this video description below. So make sure you check that, because to claim your prize, you should email customerservice@pinkfreshstudio.com. And yeah, email them. Make sure to actually claim your prize because it's a good one. And yeah, so I see. So Kelly Roth, okay, Kelly Roth saw that she won. Perfect. And let's see. So as I said, if you have any more questions for me or about the card itself or the products I use or anything, you can leave a comment. I will check the comments again tomorrow, so to make sure I didn't miss anything. And I think, I'm not sure if Kinnary told everyone in the live chat, but we are planning on doing a YouTube live, a joint YouTube live, so Kinnary, Jody, and I, where we answer some questions about what's coming, you know, what's going on with Pink Fresh Studio, what exciting things we have planned. So you can ask all the questions you have. Yeah. So I'm not sure if I missed it, if Kinnary picked the two $100 gift card winners. Oh, yeah, there it is. Heather Reese and Janine Davis. Sorry, now I saw them. Heather Reese and Janine Davis, you won the $100 gift cards. Okay, so thank you everyone for joining me. I enjoyed it a lot. I enjoyed my first card making live, and I hope you had fun. And check back on the Instagram and so on for the finished project. And I hope to see you again next week. Or, well, next week it's actually going to be Carissa with you. So next week is going to be the next YouTube live with Carissa Wiley, who's immensely talented, and I'm sure you all know her. And in 2 weeks' time, it's going to be me again. So I hope to see you there. Thank you so much for joining us, and have a great day. Bye.